Hey everyone, I've decided that I'm going to do the March 2022 sheetload of cards from Call Me Crafty. I'll put a link below to where you can find more information about the sketch. I've decided to use up some of these paper pads. So this is Workshop by Kaiser Craft. I have a few different pieces of the pattern paper left, not a lot. Some of them are specialty. Most of them are just the pieces that were left over from previous projects. I'm hoping that I can finish this all up. It's my intent to use these little gift tags that come in the back of the paper pad. I also have a bunch of strips left over and I'm thinking this would be good for this little banner that we have here in the back. Let's see how we go. The first step here is to complete the little tags that are going to be the main focus on the front of each of the cards. I'm using some of my May Arts just plain twine here. I'll link something similar in the description below, and I'll have some links if you're interested in any of the products to make it super easy. I don't think this one's available anymore, but it is such a big roll that it is going to take me absolutely forever to finish it up. So I'm just cutting some short strips and I'm just putting it through each of the tags. That way the tags look a little bit more finished. You will actually see later on that I do trim these down to suit the front of the card, but for the moment, I really just want to make sure that I have something at the top of each of the tags and that they're ready to be attached. The next thing I'm doing here is I'm doing the sides of the design. So I had these on my desk. These are 1-inch strips of blue paper. These were from a previous project, or my last video that I posted actually, and I thought these will be absolutely perfect. So I'm just running through and I'm attaching one on each side of the white A2 card bases, and I will then align a topper panel that I will create separately that will go straight over the top of these. So this is me just getting all of them sorted and prepped and ready to go. The next step is to cut down the pieces of paper that I've got to the sizes required for the sketch. So for the front panel, there's actually 2 pieces that are the same width but have a different height, one for the top and one for the bottom. And I thought if I could get as many as I can out of one particular pattern paper with as few scraps as possible, then I would try to do that. I was also conscious that I had a lot of this brick paper, and if I can partner that up with one of the blues, it'd create a nice separation between the top of the card and the bottom of the card below the banner and where I'm adding the tags that I've previously created. So this process, it's pretty straightforward. I'm creating a little scrap pile to the side, but for the most part, I'm just running through trying to create the tops and then trying to create the bottoms. And then I will partner them all up together to see which ones I think match quite well to create the final cards. Whenever I do the Call Me Crafty sheetload of cards templates, I use my scraps, I use my leftovers. It would be very uncommon for me to start a brand new fresh paper pad when doing one of these monthly challenges. I think they're just a great opportunity for me to use what I have and finish things off completely. Now that all the panels have been chopped, and I'm really not sure exactly how many I have here to be honest, what I've done is for the white backing panel, I've cut it to the right height, but not necessarily to the right width. And what that means is on each end of this white panel, you'll see in a moment, I start to build out the top and the bottom of these pattern papers, but then I'm going to actually cut the width after the pattern papers are attached. If I create the panel to the exact right size and then attach the paper, I find that if I've had any slightly miscut or anything slightly off center, I then have to trim everything a second time anyway. So by doing it this way, I just feel like I save myself having to do some extra cuts. Apologies that this is off the bottom of the screen down here. I am not particularly great at working a little higher up on my cutting mat here, so I will try and do that in the future. You can see here that I'm partnering up the brick with a contrasting pattern paper. There was quite a bit of this brick that has a reddy tone, so I really did try and partner it up with one of the blue pieces of paper, and for the most part I managed to find some good color combinations that I think worked quite well. So again, just running through, attaching all of these, and when I'm complete, I'll move on to the next step. So I'm now cutting those panels down with that final cut. Again, it just makes it so much easier for me. I don't feel the pressure of trying to line everything up perfectly the first time. This is a super quick process. I'm literally just running through, lining it up with my trimmer. If I have some of the paper that's a little bit wonky on the end, I take the time to tidy that up a little bit as I'm going. And then I'm going to attach these panels on top of these card bases with the blue strips down the side. So running through, I think I managed to get the ATG on every single panel, and I literally covered my desk so I didn't have to come back to it. But you can see here, I'm literally lining it up. It doesn't matter if the blue paper's perfect or rolls underneath this a little bit. It's so thin that it's not going to create any bumps. I'm now just running through, tidying up the base of a couple of these where they were not lined up perfectly with my knife, and those turned out just fine. I did find that I did not have enough sentiments in my stash. Normally I do. Normally I can dig into my supplies, but in this instance I thought this shimmer blue cardstock would be fantastic to match the small happy birthday sentiments. So I just run through bulk style. I've stamped all of the little happy birthdays, I've trimmed them out, and now I'm just laying them down onto this shimmery blue backing paper. I'll then just use my trimmer to run through and cut these down. Now I have seen people who are very precise when they stamp and very precise when they trim, who are very, very efficient with this. I'm not so great at that. So I literally just do it multiple steps in a row, and I just have the patience to be able to line it up and create bulk sentiments. I do actually find this process quite therapeutic. I know some people only create one or two of a card design, otherwise they get a little bored with it. But if I sit down for a crafting session, I really want to get some great output at the end. And more importantly, I really want to have used up some of my craft supplies. I have so many craft supplies that I'm going through what I have, either using them to create cards to donate, or I'm putting them in a box to donate to the local community centre when they have holiday programs with kids. So I literally donate probably twice a year. I normally have the box sitting there for a little while. And if I have spare things that I think could be useful, I obviously don't put scraps, like small scraps, into the box. But if I have a pattern paper and I'm tired of it, or a paper pad and I've used half of it and there's some great things in there that I think kids would enjoy, then I definitely put that aside so it does not just be hoarded in my craft space. So just finishing these up now, you can see I'm fussing with them a little bit. I don't know why I'm, trying to get this perfect, but every now and then I do a slightly wonky cut, and I figure if I have to throw one of these away every now and then I'm okay with that. I love having the matte on it. I just think that it makes the sentiment really stand out and pop when it's assigned to the card. So here I am matching up the banners. I chopped all of those little banners out of my paper strips that I had left over, and I'm now just trying to figure out how do I partner them up with the design. One of the difficulties I had is that I actually cut quite a few of the banners out of pattern papers that I was already using at the top or the bottom of this card sketch. And so for those, I'm sitting here looking at these ones with the gears on it, trying to figure out how do I partner these up and not have a duplicate. And then I'm also partnering up my little sentiments here, and also working out which of the two tag designs I would like to go with the cards themselves. Similarly, on one of these tag designs is the gears. So I tried to put those onto a card design that didn't already have pattern paper that had gears on it. It was not always possible. There was a lot of gears left in the pattern paper that I was using. So you can see on the bottom left-hand side, they do complement each other quite well. I still really like the cards, but the pattern paper at the bottom has the navy and grey with the gears design. And then the tags have a bit of that sort of coppery brown colour to it as well. So I'm just running through now and literally gluing everything together for these cards. It's a really straightforward process. I really enjoyed this template. So attaching the banner, attaching the tag, attaching the little happy birthday sentiment. And these were very, very straightforward to create. And I've ended up with an absolute bundle of cards for my stash. I think quite a few of these will go to family and friends, and a few of them will make them into the donation tub for this quarter. But if you are looking for any of the supplies, there's links below. And I would really love it if you would consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. I am trying to hit 700 subs. Here are the final cards. I've made 16 in total using the March Call Me Crafty L template. I have put a link here to some more of the videos I've created using previous templates for Show Us Your Sheet Load. It'd be great if you enjoyed this video if you consider leaving a like so that the video can share to more people. Have a great day.